The government has vowed to build more affordable houses and help people buy and rent, after admitting the current market is broken. The new housing strategy for England includes giving councils powers to pressurise developers to start building on land they own. Ministers also pledged to make renting more family-friendly with longer tenancies offered. Labour called the measures announced feeble beyond belief. The government says at least 250,000 new homes are needed each year to keep pace with demand, and councils and developers need to get real to the scale of the challenge. Mr. Javid set out the details of the housing white paper in a statement to MPs, with measures including so-called starter homes, championed by former Prime Minister David Cameron, will be aimed at households that need them most, those with combined incomes of less than £80,000. Or £90,000 in London. Starter homes and new homes built for first-time buyers between 23 and 40 years old and sold at least 20% below market value. The maximum price after the discount has been applied is £250,000 outside London and £450,000 in the capital. Under the new proposals, starter home buyers will need a mortgage to stop cash bias, and some or all of the discount will have to be repaid if the property is resold within 15 years, to reduce the risk of speculation. A proposal that 20% of all larger developments had to be starter homes is to be dropped and replaced with a clear expectation that at least 10% of developments will be affordable home ownership units. Mr. Javid said, "Walk down your local high street today and there's one sight you're almost certain to see: young people, faces pressed against the estate agent's window, trying and failing to find a home they can afford. With prices continuing to skyrocket, if we don't act now, a whole generation could be left behind. We need to do better, and that means tackling the failures at every point in the system. The housing market in this country is broken, and the solution means building many more houses in the places that people want to live." Mr. Javid admitted there was no one single magic bullet and there had to be a proper conversation about housing need. Ministers have admitted the government is behind schedule in its efforts to build 1 million new homes in England by 2020. For Labour, Shadow Housing Minister John Healey said, "We hoped for better and we needed better." His disappointment will desperately disappoint millions of people struggling to cope with a housing crisis. It was feeble beyond belief. He added, "We were promised a white paper, we are presented with a white flag." The Lib Dems criticised the utterly vacuous proposals for not mentioning the government's stated aim of 1 million new homes by 2020, a target ministers have insisted they are still aiming for. Former Conservative Housing Minister Grant Shapps told the BBC's Daily Politics the problem would not be solved simply by slotting in a few more homes in converted former industrial sites. He added, "Housing ministers over the years have come out with documents or bills, and the truth is none of them are going to make much difference, and I don't suppose this will make that much difference either. The reason is this: unless you build literally 2-3 million more homes, then you're not going to solve the problem." The local government association said the white paper contained some encouraging signs on increasing housing supply and affordability. It welcomed the new flexibility around starter homes and called for new power and funding to allow councils to build affordable homes directly. The campaign to protect rural England welcomed what it said was a focus on addressing current failings rather than meddling with the planning system. "We are pleased that ministers have recognised that weakening the Green Belt is unnecessary," said Chief Executive Sean Spires. "But with 360,000 houses already proposed for Greenbelt land, the government needs to do much more to uphold national policy and stop councils releasing it for development." Daniel Bentley, editorial director at the think tank Civitas, said, "The problem is not sites with planning permission standing idle, except in limited circumstances. It is with sites that are being developed, but too slowly to get ahead of demand and make any difference to the affordability of housing." Graham Brown, interim chief executive of the homelessness charity Shelter, said, "The white paper poses the right questions. What we need now is quick and bold action that helps people in need of a decent home tomorrow, not in 10 years."